Greetings and welcome to the real Monster D. That would be me. Well, it is the year 2021, a brand new year, and so much to look forward to. I thought I would focus today's video on a thing or two that I am looking forward to. And with this very first segment, I'm going to jump right into something musical that I just cannot wait to sink my teeth into. And that would be Detroit Stories, the upcoming brand new album by none other than Alice Cooper. His last full album, Paranormal, is an amazing effort here. I love what he has done with this album right here. I have some favorites on here. Fireball is great. Dynamite Road is probably my favorite on here. That track just screeches and it does not stop. Rats is also very, very fun, and I've talked before about Paranormal and how much I love how eerie it is and sort of modern and yet and almost dancey and yet creepy. So an amazing album in its own right. And just before that, he had Welcome to My Nightmare, which had some pretty fun tracks on it. You know, Runaway Train is going to be my favorite on here. I'll Bite Your Face Off was a fun one. I even have a weak spot for What Baby Wants. Baby Gets. But the album that's coming up next year, I mean, first of all, just the fact that this guy who has been putting out albums since the beginning of the 70s is still going so very strong. And Detroit Stories is going to mark his 28th studio album. Is that not amazing? 28 albums in a span of decades. This guy has been a workaholic, a music machine, pumping out some great classics in a wide array of genres. And, you know, Detroit Stories, from what I've gleaned so far of it, has already gone out of its way to show just how vast and varied it can be. I mean, you know, the songs that have been released so far, there's Rock and Roll, which, you know, goes along with the whole Detroit Stories motif. Of course, Alice is very proud of the city where he is from, and it creeps up, and its interworkings with the genre of rock and roll are so instrumental, and he wastes no opportunity in bringing up all the classic bands and artists and performers who have come through that wonderful city. Then there's, let me see if I can get this title right, Our Love Will Change the World. That was another one that was released, and he's been cleverly releasing these sort of quarantine-safe music videos, and this Our Love Will Change the World, and it goes on to say, you may not like it now, but you'll get used to it. This song has a very 1960s vibe to it, both in title and in chorus, and the way it feels is this very light, oh, let's spread love around the world. But it is Alice Cooper, so there is a sinister twist involved. But then this sinister twist twists again and becomes something actually quite profound and positive, and really seems to speak about generational perspective and how, you know, the upcoming generation may be doing things that you do not like or scare you because they are different, but that does not necessarily mean that they are bad, merely that they are different. And, you know, all along 2020, Alice Cooper has been doing some wonderful things to help ease the stress and to entertain his followers. He had his little trick-or-treat stories, you know, live performance that he put on Halloween. there was a fundraiser involving chocolate milk that he did, and then before all of that, there was the internet contest to get in one of his music videos, and it was this song, "Don't Give Up," which could very well be the theme, the graceful theme of 2020, and what I love is he has this image of being macabre and dark and cryptic, and yet within that, not even a layer deep, is the heart of someone who just wants to entertain and wants to bring joy and hope to those around him. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to it. I'll tell you what else I look forward to. I am a completist, and I have a thing about sort of even numbers, and this is going to be album number 28. What I really want to happen is to make sure that he keeps working and stays functional and healthy to make it to that nice, round, complete 30. I need 30 Alice Cooper albums in my life. I think that would be frighteningly wonderful. So yes, that is one of the many musical things I am looking forward to in 2021. How about yourself? What music are you looking forward to? And by the way, Detroit Stories is somewhere in production / in the mail on its way to me. So when it does come, that review / opening will occur here. So stay tuned and stay monstrous. Now I will tell you something monstrous I am excited about for 2021. That, of course, would be the premiere of Godzilla vs. Kong. Yes. I cannot wait to see the titanic return of those two titans going toe to toe. Yes. But will I enjoy seeing these monsters on the big screen or on the small screen at home? Whichever option is available. What am I most excited for and hoping to see? To be honest, I will be happy either way, so long as it does come. I will just be grateful. I mean, certainly, it would be a sight to be in the big screen and watch these larger-than-life monsters battle out before me, truly towering before my very young-feeling eyes. However, it'll be just as entertaining to me to see these monsters go at it at my home lair entertainment system. Yes. That way I can watch these monsters battle each other while I enjoy my very own snacks. I like both. What I have to remind myself of is to be grateful for what I am given, regardless of the circumstance, that as long as it comes, or even if it doesn't come, I have already been blessed with so very much. Within roughly the past half decade, we have been treated to an unprecedented level of theatrical kaiju action. There was a long and dormant period where seeing these kinds of movies in the theater was very rare. But lately, there has been so much of it. It started more or less with Pacific Rim. This movie came out and sort of started a brand new kaiju boom. And then 1 year after that was, the Gareth Edwards Godzilla movie. And then after that, there was the Japanese Shin Godzilla. This was my first theatrical Toho Godzilla experience. And then, Kong Skull Island. And not only that, we were treated to a Pacific Rim sequel, Resurgence. We even got Rampage. And just last year, Godzilla, somewhere, we got Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'm not sure where he stomped off to, but you get the idea. We have had an impressive run of kaiju movies in a very short amount of time, and I have been grateful to experience the whole lot of them. But, you know, my experiences with these monsters actually began on the small screen. Some of my first viewings of any Godzilla movies at all came during a Saturday afternoon double feature, which was hosted by none other than Grandpa Munster. Yes, how delightful that was. I used to hoop and holler and howl and jump on furniture whenever the original King Kong vs. Godzilla came on screen. I was a big fan as a wee monster lad of Godzilla's Revenge. Go Gabara go! Yes. So, the main thing to bring with you, no matter how you experience these films, is that same kid at heart. You know, to wake that up inside of you and just let it go and just enjoy what you have while we have it. So yes, I look forward to this movie no matter how it comes out. And I hope you enjoy it when it comes too. For some nice big monster smiles. Yes. Welcome to the drawing challenge. Yes. Do you want to know something else I am looking forward to in the year 2021? Oh, I'll tell you, that would be some more weird produce. You may or may not know that I am a big fan of my fine, freaky food. What I have for you today is no exception. Behold. This is a celery root. Look at that. How delightfully twisted and tormented is that thing? Yes, to show how much I love this, what I'm going to do now is do sort of a monsterized still life drawing. I'm going to take this celery root and I'm going to turn it into a monster on this very page right here. Yes. Are we ready? Well, let me don a marker. So first, I'm going to position my little friend here in a way that inspires me most. I'm going to look at it long enough to get a feel. You know, sometimes if you look at something long enough, you can sort of see a little face in it somewhere along the line. Oh, and I think I see it. Look at this. Do you see the two eyes and the sort of trunk? Let me see if I can position that right. I see a little face there. I'm going to turn it towards me, so it may wind up being a bit of a surprise. But, yeah. Oop, don't roll away from me, my friend. Let me stable you there. And here we go. Going to turn this guy into a monster. I'm going to start with the sort of, I guess that would be the stem at the top there. So have any of you ever actually had celery root before? And this is some incredible food there if you have not had it. It's a lot of supermarkets have. I'd say medium-sized supermarkets and up will sometimes carry them. I feel like when they do carry them, there's never more than 2 or 3 on the shelves at a time. I do not believe that they're ever mass sort of on sale at any given place. But they show up and, you know, first glance, they look a bit, well, let's face it, they look very dirty. They're caked in dirt. I mean, it is a root vegetable with, you know, many of the roots still intact on the creature there. So I can imagine to the average eye, they're not necessarily that appealing to want to eat there. Oh man, this thing has a bit of a gash or a scar on it on the side there, which is interesting. see here. So I'm going to use that to my advantage and give this thing a side mouth. Getting monstrous already. But yeah, celery root. So to process this, you would cut all that exterior out, all that skin, all those roots, and you get down to it, you have this sort of white bulbous thing that looks very much like a potato. And yes, in fact, when you get to that stage, you can do with it anything that you can do with a potato. It very much is similar in that fashion, but when you prepare it, it has a very different taste to it. It really is kind of like a milder, it is like a potato with these sort of celery hints to it. Quite a unique sensation it is. I always recommend them mashed, just like you would do mashed potatoes. And yeah, they're quite lovely. Alright, so I'm going to go with some big, sort of weepy, sort of lashes on this thing. These two sort of bulbous protrusions. Oh, here we go. I have an idea. So these are going to be eyes as well. They're going to be these big, sort of pathetic, almost sad eyes. So maybe this monster was not going to be necessarily all that mean, but then again, I do not know what to make of that side mouth, so who knows. I suppose there are those who appear nice but talk from the side of their mouth. I believe that is something close to a saying somewhere. I do not know. But I'm going to keep... Okay. I'm starting to get a distinct elephantine feel here. So I'm just going to go with that and sort of turn this big root into kind of a trunk. And then these side roots, this one I'm going to keep kind of as is. And then it's going to be like, imagine if an elephant had prehensile tusks. How about that? So I am not going to wrap that tusk around the snout. I am just calling these parts by their monster elephant-like parts now. Alright. Funny enough, those of you who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you know I post daily kaiju drawings, a giant monster every single day, and I started doing the monster a day way back in 2014, and my very first daily monster was actually based off of a celery root. I did the whole thing in pencil. I could show it to you. Actually, I believe it is in one of my albums on Facebook, so you can go back and look at it. It's very, very light. I did the entire thing in pencil. I was experimenting back then. And yeah, that got the entire Monster D thing rolling, essentially, before I was even Monster D. So there we go. Let's see here. I'm going to do a back foot. So I'm very much going with that sort of pachyderm feel now. That just seems to be how the thing lends itself. It also seems to have a little bit of a mustache, so maybe I'll do a little like root mustache on top here. So I do love my freaky produce. I love odd colors and shapes. I have actually started ordering from this place called Misfit Market, which is where this fellow came from. And the whole idea is that it is supposed to sell you food that is not necessarily what most stores would say are display worthy, but they're still very edible and usable. Just not that picture-perfect version of whatever that item is you're after. And that is okay with me, because I can cook whatever it is, no matter how bizarre it looks. So yeah, odd-shaped food, odd-colored food. I love purple produce. I'll tell you what, that would be the king for me. If someone could find for me a purple celery root, oh, what I would give for a purple celery root. I do not even know if that exists, but if it does, I would have to have it at some point. So if you know that purple celery root exists, if you have seen it, if you know where to locate it, please do tell me. I must know. All right. I feel like I need to do like one more thing here. How about I do one big, let's see here. For no particular reason, I'm going to give it a claw on the top of its head. I got to monsterize it. Sometimes I get so caught up in what the thing itself looks like, because it is so beautiful in its own odd way, that I almost forget to add more monster features. But I am Monster D after all, so monsterize it I must. 'Tis my destiny. All right. And almost done. A little bit of weight on those heavy feet. Bring out those eyes. Bring out those prehensile tusks. Accentuate the mouth. And I'm going to call this fellow done. There we are. And that is the celery root monster. And here is the lovely face of the real creature to compare. See the resemblance? See where the monsterization comes into play. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that inspires you to look forward to new produce of your own. Feel free to tell me what oddities you find and have enjoyed in the grocery store. Perhaps a puffball mushroom, perhaps a purple sweet potato, perhaps a maroon carrot, who knows? All of that is fun and entertaining to me, and in its own way, monstrous. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video entire. I hope it gives you some things to look forward to, and I hope you have much to look forward to in the year 2021. Yes. If you have enjoyed this, please do like the video, toll that bell so you can be ready, willing, and salivating for the very next episode of The Real Monster D. Until next time, roar! Next week's daily kaiju drawing theme is going to be Elementions, as inspired by Balls Just Balls from Instagram. You can find my daily kaiju drawings on both my Instagram as well as my Facebook art galleries. Just type in either search The Real Monster D. Spaces.